Now we turn to the Eurozone, which we see melting down. Some elite guys came up with an idea to, create a currency union. And the question is whether they have failed or not, or was this the plan? EU court to hear ECB Greek swap file suit as Euro threatened. So this was on Thursday before the election. This is Bloomberg News, and they're suing the ECB to get information about the Greek swap deals with Goldman Sachs. A court will hear a lawsuit seeking disclosure of European Central Bank files that may show how Greece used derivatives to hide its borrowings, helping to spark a crisis that threatens the region's currency union. The ECB, in its defense, is arguing that they should have discretion to decide what is in the public interest, and releasing the papers could damage the ECB's counterparties, hurt markets, and undermine EU policy.
What papers? It's already on the internet. There's 13 specific trades conducted by Goldman to commit fraud. That's not something that's hidden under some in bureaucrat's drawer.
This is, Max, what they're seeking. They know this. They know for a fact these deals were done between Goldman Sachs and Greece. They know for an absolute 100% fact. What they're trying to see is if the ECB, the documents may be proof that there was a tacit collusion between the EU and Greece, that no action was taken. So they're saying that they were colluding, that the ECB knew that Greece was hiding its debt, and therefore they should have known that all of the following debts were odious, that they were engaged in a bogus deal with Goldman Sachs.
Right, and they will find that collusion took place. Number two, they'll pass a law making collusion legal. Number three, it'll be retroactive, making all past collusion unprosecutable. And four, they'll continue to do it. We see it in America with the Verizon deal, spying. They pass laws to make it legal. When Goldman Sachs breaks the law, they pass a law saying now that's legal. When JP Morgan breaks a law, they pass a new law saying now it's legal. Now that's gone global. Break a law, we'll pass a law saying it's legal. So when they hope to accomplish what? To further their own bureaucratic ends, again, by staying in some bureaucratic office for another month or so to pick up another paycheck at the expense of the many, it means nothing.
Well, so until the decision comes out from the ECB, all we have is that we do know for a fact that it is the largest debt restructuring in history that has happened in Greece. But it's a 240 billion euro bailout. Now, Max, 240 billion euros in business, is that something you as a broker would have liked to have?
Of course, this is a great piece of business for them. The commissions are fantastic. It'll be much more than that. It has already been much more than that. And any opposition party or anybody who attempts to challenge it, of course, markets can be manipulated at the drop of a hat to influence public opinion. This is something that people have not yet realized, that the prices that they see for these markets are generated by design. They're not generated by supply and demand.
And remember when we interviewed Yanis Varoufakis before the elections in Greece, he said that Greece was forced to take a loan from the EFSF in order to give to the ECB 900 million euros in profit on their discounted bonds they bought from Greece.
No, I understand there's an interest in looking at all these past transgressions and trying to come to terms with what to do with the criminal acts that have taken place. But again, I have to point out that the global economy is fast heading over the cliff, and we will soon be talking about something quite a bit greater in magnitude than the crisis, any part of the crisis thus far. It's very interesting that people are now waking up to the fact that there is this incredible miscarriage of justice, but people, it's way, way too late to be talking about that.
Well, so Bloomberg writes, Goldman's secret Greece loan shows two sinners as client unravels. So on the day the 2001 deal was struck, the government of Greece owed the bank about 600 million euros more than the 2.8 billion euros they borrowed, and within 2 years or 3 years, it was double the amount. So that's that. And Bloomberg notes, in an interview with Gustavo Piga, author of Derivatives and Public Debt Management, in secret deals, intermediaries have the upper hand and use it to squeeze taxpayers. So across the United States, from JP Morgan's municipal rigging of the bond markets to the ECB and all of these bonds and the new bonds and old bonds and wrapped up into one bond, into a new bond, into the Euro bond, into the redemption bond, into the redemption fund. Every single step of the way, the population, the taxpayer in Europe, the taxpayer in America, the taxpayers in Asia, who are also funding the IMF and all of these bailouts, they're being defrauded every step of the way.
Yes, and as a result, the collapse is coming. And this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been hoping for. Because the only way to get rid of this kleptocracy is through a collapse. And there's no political will to engineer or politicize or to elect leaders that will remove the kleptocrats. We must allow the system to collapse. So this is great. And if you're looking for a collapse, which is now in situ, you must cheer this collapse into its fruition, which is a massive global banking collapse and bank failures and capital controls and bank runs. They're in progress. They're happening. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we want. This is how we're going to get rid of this generation of kleptocrats. It's the only way, a scorched earth policy of a collapse. There's nothing left. There has been no political will to stop the likes of the Jamie Dimons out there. Hopefully you're ready for it with your gold and silver. If not, then you're part of history.